I even thought of eavesdropping on her conversation, but then I had to stop myself. I know her, she will spill out the news, so I chilled and waited for her to finish her conversation. I finished cleaning the kitchen and I then put the dishes in the dishwasher, then chilled thinking of the possible options on the school project we were working on. After an interval, she came back smiling like a retired old woman, smiling from ear to ear. I just chilled and acted like I don't want the juice she's about to spill. Guess who was calling, girl? You won't believe it, she shouted. I was like, what is it, babes? And who could it be except Mickey? It was Dean, duh, she replied with a youthful tone. I was so surprised for a minute, thinking of how they got contact when I didn't even see it. Them exchanging contacts. She started laughing, then told me how they exchanged contacts while I was busy on my phone. Then she ended up telling me about the conversation they had. Trust me, that's Lily for you. She can't keep a secret at times. I was happy for her that the guy she was daydreaming about finally called and asked her to be friends. I'm sure she's over the clouds right now, said my mind. I wanted to warn her not to break Mickey's heart, but I hesitated. But deep down, I was feeling sorry for him because on this one, I don't trust my friend. She likes cash love, and from the looks of it, Dean has got some, and Mickey was just a varsity boy. I decided not to worry. Anyway, because it was not my cup of tea, after the chit-chat about the mysterious Dean guy, we retired to our rooms. Since we share a flat, each one had their own bedroom. So we bid each other good night and went to bed. I wonder if she was asleep with how much she was daydreaming about him. I'm sure she's awake anyway. It's not my problem. I just drifted to my dreamland as always. I had to take a long rest because it was not easy to work and study at the same time. Each day after my lectures at 4 p.m. I go to work. In a restaurant called Food Express as a waitress. That is where I always eat lunch for free and free Wi-Fi. Those are what we call company benefits. I work there from 4 to 6 p.m. It's supper time, so it's the most busiest time because most of the campus students is there and other people. You know how it is when a place has good reputation of good food. So I offered a hand and earned myself some notes. So definitely I need a long rest. So from that day, Miss Daydreamer Lily was ever happy. She kept on communicating with the dean of a guy. Sometimes he could call her and she would fill me in. Lily never disappoints, I tell you. On some days, Dean would join us for lunch, which is the most boring moment because when the two start chit-chatting, I never concentrate with my research. And at times, I was forced to join in the conversation, only not to be seen just how much I don't like him. Above all, the worst times is on the days he would join us for dinner. Usually, it would be my duty to cook, while they chat away sitting in the lounge. And each and every time after eating, he always passed some compliments, and I really feel like I can swallow him alive. Just that I'm not a vampire. But on such days I wish I was. As time goes on, I got a bit accustomed to the whole Dean situation because he would take us out on some weekends. So for the sake of Lily, I would compromise and try to loosen up a bit around him. Even though we don't talk that much, we stayed in that situation for quite some time. And everything was just fine. Until someone decided to ask me what I think exactly about him. It was over a cup of coffee on our breakfast preparing to go out for lectures. Lucky these days Dean picks us up, so no more stampede on taxis. I choked a little, then took a sip of coffee, then hid behind the steam to avoid anyone reading my facial expressions. I asked her again to rephrase the question in actual simple terms so we can both understand. She just giggled. And sighed. Come on, Lee. I'm just asking in simple terms. He has been here with us for quite some time. Now, what do you think about him? Or how best can you describe him? She smiled, waiting for a fulfilling response, but I actually did not have the suitable response she wanted. If only I knew what she wanted me to say so that she can be happy. He is nice, I replied, picking away cups to the sink. She just laughed and shouted out, Yeah, it's really hard to deal with lawyers. It's always a waste of time on skeptical responses. Yes, guys, I'm a lawyer on my 3rd year now. So, people often think it's hard to deal with lawyers. I heard her, then grabbed my school bag and laughed as we head out of the house. I just do not know what is up with this girl. We got to school and went about the day like normal, our daily routine. Fast forward, a year has passed now and Dean is still in our lives. Now we are in good books. I just take him as our big brother because he's a little bit protective over us. He says do not do boys but books first. To me, I did not see it as a bad thing. I just think it's a normal thing. After all, that is what my parents always say. Thank you so much for watching and reading. Let's meet in the next chapter. Bye.